Welcome to another deep dive, everyone. So this time we're tackling something that I know is super important to a lot of you guys out there.
Oh, yeah.
Pet care. And specifically,
Uh-huh.
we had a listener write in who lives down in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah, beautiful spot.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to know more about
Mm-hmm.
how to keep their furry friends
Right.
happy and healthy down there.
Exactly.
So that's what we're going to dig into today.
Sounds good.
I've got a stack of articles and research all about
Oh.
pet care in Port St. Lucie.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
we're going to see what we can uncover.
I'm excited.
What makes it special down there, right? It's not like
Sure.
caring for a pet in Port St. Lucie
Mhm.
is the same as like,
Right.
upstate New York or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There are going to be some differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What stood out to you just kind of initially glancing through all this material?
Well, the thing that I think is really interesting about Port St. Lucie is that it offers a lot in terms of outdoor activities.
Right.
You've got the Savannas Preserve State Park.
Yeah.
You've got the St. Lucie River.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
So there's all this access to nature
I bet.
and all of those wonderful things you can do with your pet.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that comes with some unique considerations in
Mhm.
terms of their care.
Of course.
The heat, the humidity, the potential for parasites.
Yeah, those are things that I think a lot of people
Mm,
don't think about until,
right.
they've moved down there and
So
then
that's-
suddenly are like, oh my God.
Yeah.
My dog has ticks all the time. Or whatever, right?
That's right. And I think that's one of the biggest things that jumped out at me from these articles is the importance of parasite prevention in Port St. Lucie.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like,
It's huge.
yeah, it's not just a seasonal thing.
No, we're talking year-round protection.
Wow.
Because the climate is so favorable to these
Right.
critters, fleas, ticks, mosquitos.
Right.
Heartworms, all those things are more prevalent in a place like Port St. Lucie.
Okay, so we're talking about like preventatives, like
What is that?
like topical medications, oral medications, that kind of thing.
All of that, yeah.
Okay, and
Your vet can definitely guide you on the best options for your pet.
our listener did mention that they love taking their dog on all those trails at Savannas Preserve.
I bet. Beautiful place.
So ticks, yeah.
Uh-huh. You've got to be careful about that.
It seems like it would be a huge concern.
It is, yeah.
One article I read mentioned that the Gulf Coast tick is really common in that region.
Oh, interesting.
And it can transmit
Yes.
a disease called ehrlichiosis. Have you heard of that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Ehrlichiosis is a serious bacterial infection that can affect dogs.
Okay.
And it can cause a whole range of symptoms from fever and lethargy to joint pain and even neurological problems.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that pet owners in that area should be aware of.
Yeah, that sounds pretty scary.
Yeah. You want to make precautions?
Okay, so
Yeah.
obviously, finding a vet down in Port St. Lucie
Yes.
is probably priority number one.
Absolutely.
What did you learn about the vets in Port St. Lucie? Anything interesting stand out?
Well, what struck me is how much emphasis they put on building a strong relationship between the vet and the owner.
Really?
Yeah, like a lot of the practices that I was reading about, they highlighted the importance of regular checkups,
Okay.
not just for vaccinations, but also to allow the vet to really get to know the pet.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that's especially important in a place like Port St. Lucie because those regular visits can help the vet monitor for things like heat and humidity related issues.
Right.
They're familiar with the specific challenges of the environment.
That's interesting because I do remember when my own cat started slowing down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of just thought, oh, she's just getting older.
Right.
But then when I took her to the vet was like, no, I think she's got some arthritis going on.
Oh.
And it made me realize, like, oh, wow, they can really spot things
Absolutely.
that I as an owner might completely miss.
And they're trained to look for those subtle signs. They're
Oh.
looking at everything.
It's like they've got a whole other,
Exactly.
like, superpower almost.
It is. It's like a detective work.
Yeah.
They're looking for clues.
So these vets, they're trained to look for these subtle signs, like you said.
Yes.
What kinds of things, beyond arthritis?
Oh, there's so many things.
Man.
Dental disease, obesity, which is a big one.
Oh, interesting.
Kidney disease, even.
Wow.
Yeah, and catching these things early can make a huge difference in terms of treatment success and also managing costs.
Speaking of costs, that's one thing that always worries me a little bit.
Understandable.
It's like those unexpected vet bills,
Yeah,
Emergencies happen, I'm a very clumsy person.
I hear you.
So I'm always worried that, like,
Mhm.
something's going to happen, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to be hit with this big vet bill.
Right. Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Did any of these articles mention anything about emergency services in Port St. Lucie?
They did,
Oh,
yeah. A lot of them highlighted that there are emergency veterinary services available,
okay.
either within regular practices or at dedicated 24-hour animal hospitals.
Okay, so it sounds like they're pretty well equipped to handle those kinds of
It
situations.
seems like it, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's definitely reassuring, I think, for any pet owner.
It is reassuring, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to think about those things happening.
Of course not.
But it is nice to know that
Yeah.
you've got resources there.
Right, that there's a safety net.
Yeah, if something does happen.
Exactly.
But ideally, of course,
Yeah,
we want to prevent emergencies in the first place, right?
absolutely. And that's where preventative care comes in.
Okay, so we're talking.
Right, those regular wellness exams, vaccinations,
Right.
parasite prevention, all of that.
That's kind of like investing in your pet's health in the long run.
Exactly.
That's- yeah.
It's like putting money in the bank.
Yeah, it's like paying for insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way.
It's an investment in their well-being.
And it seems like the vets in Port St. Lucie are really well versed
Uh-huh.
in handling the specific challenges
Yeah.
that environment.
They are.
presents.
So they understand the climate,
Yeah.
the types of parasites that are common,
Uh-huh.
the lifestyle that a lot of pet owners in Port St. Lucie have.
Okay, so they're kind of like specialists in a way.
In a way, yeah. They've got that local expertise.
And I read, I think it was in one of these articles, that they actually
Yeah.
treat a wide range of pets down there.
That's right, yeah.
It's not just dogs and cats, right?
No, it's not just the typical,
Okay.
household pets. They're also experienced with exotic animals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it seems like the veterinary community there is quite diverse and adaptable.
So if you've got like a parrot or a lizard or something.
Exactly. You're probably going to be able to find someone who can take care of them.
That's great. So it's not like you have to drive
Right.
2 hours to
You
find.
don't have to go on a quest
Go around.
to find the right person.
Okay, so
Mhm.
let's say I've just moved to Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
I've got my furry friend with me.
Mm-hmm.
How do I even go about finding the right vet for me and my pet?
Well, that's a great question. And
Yeah.
actually, the articles had some good advice on that. One of the things they suggested is asking for referrals
Okay.
from friends, family, or even like your local groomer or pet sitter.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, people who are in the pet community
Mhm.
often have good recommendations.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Exactly. Always good. And then, of course, online reviews can be helpful too.
Of course, yeah. Everyone checks those.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
And then don't hesitate to schedule a meet and greet
Okay.
with a few different vets before making a decision.
So it's like dating, but for your pet.
Exactly.
You got to find someone you click with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're entrusting them with your furry family member's health.
That's a good point.
You want to make sure it's a good fit.
Yeah, you want someone who's going to take the time to like
Yeah.
listen to you, understand your concerns,
Mm-hmm.
all that good stuff.
And who you feel comfortable communicating with.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, during that initial meeting, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Good point. Yeah.
Find out about their experience, their approach to pet care, whether they offer any specialized services
Okay.
that might be relevant to your pet.
Speaking of specialized services, I
Yeah.
did notice that some of these articles mentioned orthopedic care for dogs,
Oh, yeah.
which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
Port St. Lucie, all those hiking trails, beaches.
Right. Lots of opportunities for activity.
I can imagine that joint issues might be a
Yeah.
pretty common problem
That's a good point.
for dogs down there.
And one of the articles did specifically mention that,
Right.
it's important to find a vet who's experienced in diagnosing and treating orthopedic problems,
Makes sense.
especially for active breeds
Yeah.
who might be prone to joint conditions.
Okay, so they might even offer things like physical therapy or rehab.
They might, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Some of them have those services in-house.
So it seems like they really go above and beyond down there.
They do. They really do.
Yeah, to kind of cater to those
Mhm.
unique needs.
They understand the lifestyle.
Okay, what about behavioral issues?
Oh, that's another important one.
Yeah, because I know those can be
Yeah.
tricky, especially with cats.
They can be, yeah. And several sources emphasize the importance of addressing behavioral problems early on.
Okay.
Not letting them fester,
Gotcha.
because often they can be resolved or at least managed
Right.
if you catch them early.
Okay, and they were saying that these vets are skilled in like identifying the underlying causes of behavioral problems.
Exactly. Yeah, whether it's anxiety,
Right.
stress, something else entirely.
Sometimes those quirky behaviors are like
Yeah.
a sign of something else.
Absolutely. It's like they're trying to communicate with us,
Yeah,
but we don't always understand the language.
exactly.
So a good vet can help decode those feline mysteries.
So what if I've got like a
Mhm.
less traditional pet?
Right, like not a cat or a dog.
Yeah.
Well, Port St. Lucie has you covered there, too.
Really?
Yeah, I read an article that mentioned a couple of practices
Okay.
that specialize in exotic animal care.
Okay, so we're talking
Yeah.
lizards, snakes.
Lizards, snakes, birds, reptiles,
Okay.
even smaller mammals, like rabbits and ferrets.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like
Okay, so they're really prepared for anything.
they are, yeah, they've got a broad range of expertise.
So let's shift gears a little bit here.
Okay.
And talk about something that nobody likes to think about, but
Wow.
is inevitable.
Yeah.
Senior pet care.
Right. As our furry friends get older,
Yeah.
their needs change.
And they need extra TLC.
Absolutely. And the sources really stress the importance of more frequent wellness exams for senior pets.
Okay, so we're talking like twice-a-year checkups.
At least, yeah, one article recommended twice yearly checkups.
Okay.
Because older animals are just more susceptible to those
Right.
age-related health problems.
And it's so easy to just dismiss those things
I don't
as,
know.
oh, they're just getting old.
Yeah, it's just part of aging.
But, sometimes it's not.
Exactly. It could be something that's treatable
Yeah.
or manageable.
So it's important to get those things checked out.
Absolutely. And vets can really help manage those conditions.
Okay.
And improve your senior pet's quality of life,
Okay.
even in their golden years.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they might recommend things like diet adjustments,
Right.
pain management strategies, or even physical therapy to keep those joints moving.
It's amazing what they can do these days.
It really is.
Yeah.
They've come a long way.
I think one of the hardest things, though,
Mm-hmm.
is spotting pain in older pets
That's true, yeah.
because they can't tell us what hurts.
Exactly. They can't say, oh, my hip is bothering me.
So how do we know?
Well, one of the articles had a great section on this, and they
Okay.
talked about some subtle signs of pain in older pets.
Okay, like what?
Things like difficulty getting up,
Okay.
limping, decreased stamina,
Uh-huh.
changes in appetite, even changes in behavior.
Oh, wow.
All of these could be indicators of pain.
Okay, so it's like learning a whole other language.
It is. It's like decoding their signals.
Yeah, but thankfully we've got vets to help us.
We do. They're like the translators. They can
Yeah.
help us understand what our older pets are trying to tell us.
And they can also provide advice on
Yeah.
how to make your home
Exactly.
more comfortable for a senior pet.
Right, like orthopedic beds,
Oh, yeah.
ramps for stairs,
Mm.
maybe modifying your house to accommodate mobility issues.
Good points, yeah.
Little things that can make a big difference.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From parasites
Mm-hmm.
to emergency care,
Mm-hmm.
finding the right vet, senior pet care.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about,
It is a lot to think about.
but I think the takeaway is
Yeah.
that being proactive
Mm.
and building that strong relationship with a vet
Yes.
is crucial.
Yeah, and finding someone who understands the unique challenges
Yes,
of Port St. Lucie.
exactly.
Right, so they can kind of be your partner in your pet's well-being.
Absolutely. They're there to guide you
Yeah.
and support you every step of the way.
And it sounds like Port St. Lucie has a great network of vets
Oh, absolutely.
who are ready and willing to do that.
They are, yeah.
So you're not alone.
You've got a whole team on your side
Yeah, exactly.
to help you navigate all of this.
It's so empowering to feel like you've got that support.
It is. It takes a lot of the stress out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Knowing that you have someone to turn to.
And it's not just about finding a vet for when your pet's sick.
Right, exactly.
It's about establishing that relationship
Uh-huh.
early on
Yeah.
so they can help you navigate all the different
Exactly. All the stages.
stages of their life.
From puppyhood to those golden senior years.
You reminded me, I read one of these articles about puppy and kitten care,
Oh, yeah.
and they were stressing the importance of early socialization,
That's huge.
which makes sense, right?
It does.
I mean, Port St. Lucie, so many dog parks and beaches.
I know. It's the perfect place to
Yeah.
get them out there and
Yeah.
expose them to new things.
It's a great place to introduce your puppy to
Absolutely.
all those sights and sounds and smells.
Yeah, get them used to different people, different dogs,
Yeah.
different environments.
And that can help prevent behavioral issues
Exactly.
later on.
Yeah.